Hello, my dear Scorpio friends. I hope you're all doing really, really well. I'm so happy to welcome you to this guidance for the months of July and August. For this reading, I'll be using the Classic Tarot as the base deck and the Celtic Tarot as an overlay, a deck I love for its rich symbolism. You'll find both references with links in the description if you're interested. Just a quick reminder, this reading is for you whether you are a Scorpio sun, rising, or moon sign. Let's begin with a quick overview of the spread, focusing first on the major arcana. You have Death in your main challenge position and the Wheel of Fortune in the position of what will help you face that challenge. So we can already sense that the universe is offering strong support here. Then you've drawn the Empress and the Fool as the hidden gift behind your challenge, which tells us that the reward could be incredibly powerful, but that the challenge itself might be just as big. And finally, in your professional and financial life, you have the Magician appearing right after the Ten of Wands. Magnificent. Of course, we'll explore everything in more detail, but let's begin right at the center. What's at the heart of these 2 months? What does your soul long for most in this phase of your life? As you know, I've chosen to structure my readings around the soul's calling, because when we live and make decisions from the level of the soul and not from the small self or the ego, our life naturally aligns. And as a result, it becomes much more joyful and prosperous. So what is your soul longing for right now? Well, you've drawn the beautiful Queen of Wands and the Seven of Pentacles. The Queen of Wands represents the personality your soul most wants to embody during these 2 months, whether you identify as male or female, of course. This queen is magnetic, charismatic, creative, and above all, she has unshakable confidence in herself. She doesn't doubt, she shines. And look at the lion behind her. It symbolizes inner mastery and strength. And the sunflower tells us she's fully turned toward the light, even during difficult times. Your soul is whispering to you, be yourself. Stop apologizing for taking up space. You have every right to stand tall and radiate with confidence, without having to push or force anything. Because this queen doesn't force, she attracts. She knows who she is. And that solar confidence is exactly what your soul is seeking to express at this moment in your life. And in many ways, this card is deeply aligned with the energy of Scorpio, once fear has been transmuted. So if lately you've been feeling like you've pulled away, or you don't quite recognize yourself in what you're doing anymore, this card is gently guiding you back to your center. It's time to realign with who you truly are at the deepest level. Now let's look at the Seven of Pentacles, which is such an interesting card in the Celtic Tarot, very different from other decks. Usually we see a gardener evaluating the fruits of their labor, but here we see a child, wide-eyed with wonder, surrounded by an enchanted forest filled with magical creatures, and golden coins gently rain down toward him. This tells us that you don't need to wait anxiously or chase results. You simply need to stay in faith. Trust that what you've sown will bear fruit, even if you can't control the timing. There's even a spiritual dimension in this card, a reminder to surrender and trust in divine timing. What you're waiting for may not be visible yet, but it's ripening. Let time do its work. Let's now take a look at what will help you fulfill this mission and allow your light to shine. And you have 2 very interesting cards here, the Five of Wands and the Two of Swords. The Five of Wands is typically a card of disagreement, even tension or conflict. But here it's telling you something else. It's okay if not everyone agrees with you. In fact, the tension you may be feeling right now might be there to help you stand your ground, to help you assert yourself. You're not here to please everyone. And this Five of Wands is reminding you that your inner fire, the same one embodied by the Queen of Wands, is worth defending, even if it shakes things up. Now, the Two of Swords in this Celtic Tarot version is really fascinating. This woman is not blindfolded. She can see, but she's clearly in a moment of waiting, as if she believes that not choosing is somehow more comfortable. But look closely. The waters behind her are stirring. The moon is shining brightly, which shows us that deep down, she already knows what she needs to do, even if she hasn't dared to act on it just yet. So clearly you're facing decisions, and yes, they might go against what others expect or want, but it's exactly that contrast, that pressure, that will help you return to your inner truth, what feels right for you. And this is what allows the Queen of Wands to flourish, making choices that are aligned with your inner flame, not with the world's expectations. It's really, really beautiful. Now let's move on to your main challenge for the months of July and August, And here you've drawn two incredibly powerful cards, Death and the Nine of Wands. Death, of course, is the card of transformation. It's about an ending that is necessary. Remember, death is neither good nor bad. It simply signals that a cycle in your life has come to a close and it's time to let something go. Naturally, that's not always easy. We can hold on out of fear, out of sadness, or simply out of habit. But here the universe is telling you, what was once right from a soul level perspective no longer is. So we clearly see that there's a real challenge here. The need to detach from a situation, to accept that things have changed, and to accept a loss, whether symbolic or literal. And this challenge is even stronger because next to it, you have the Nine of Wands. And in this Celtic version, the image is incredibly powerful. Look at this wild boar. He's wounded but still standing. He's determined. The Nine of Wands represents exhaustion, the kind that comes from having resisted for a long time, from giving a lot, sometimes even too much. Now, I don't know exactly what you've been through, but it seems clear that you've been carrying a lot on your shoulders, holding everything together, no matter the cost. And your soul is gently telling you, you can't keep going like this. So this challenge is clearly about inner surrender. You've reached the end of a path, and your challenge now is to accept that it's over. This isn't a defeat, it's a liberation. But as with any true liberation, it means letting go of what no longer serves you, even if at one point it meant the world to you. So now let's take a look at what the universe is sending you to help you move through this challenge. You've drawn the Wheel of Fortune, a magnificent card, and the Five of Swords. The Wheel of Fortune is excellent news. It represents a twist of fate, a turning point. It tells you that the situation is going to shift, that you're going to receive a blessing. This card is connected to the planet Jupiter, which, as you may know, is also the planet of luck. And it's always wonderful when Jupiter moves through our sign for a full year. So even if right now you feel like you're stuck or just completely worn out, the universe is saying, hang in there. The wheel is going to turn. And with the Five of Swords, we see that this blessing will also require some mental detachment. This card is often associated with conflict, but in the Celtic Tarot, especially in this support position, look closely at the imagery. This figure is walking away toward the light, leaving behind several swords stuck in the snow. This is an invitation to let go of battles, mental or relational, that no longer serve you. Maybe there's been a struggle, harsh words, or even inner turmoil, but the message is clear. You don't need to win. You need to free yourself. What will help you move through this phase is, on one hand, faith. Faith that life will offer you a fresh start, a kind of cosmic justice, the Wheel of Fortune. And on the other hand, your ability to release the mental fight, to stop poisoning yourself with what belongs to the past. Maybe what you went through was unfair or unbalanced, but it's no longer yours to carry. The universe is already taking care of it. And now, let's look at the beautiful gift the universe has in store for you, once you've made it through this challenge. Because there's always something positive on the other side of a hardship, even if we can't see it in the moment. And that's exactly why I have chosen to reveal this hidden gift in each of my readings, because it can help you hold on and stay the course while you're in the middle of your challenge. Now, of course, the challenge won't impact every Scorpio in the same way. It might feel more or less intense depending on what you're going through right now. But one thing is certain, you have not just one, but two major arcana cards here. And what's more, they are both radiant cards, full of the promise of renewal. The Empress and the Fool. The Empress is, by definition, the card of fertility. She is often depicted as pregnant in traditional tarot imagery. She also represents abundance and creativity. Just look at her, comfortably seated in a lush, fertile landscape, surrounded by life. This card is announcing a rebirth after a difficult time. She's telling you, you're going to reclaim your power to create, to give, and of course, to love. And then there's the Fool, which in this context is such a beautiful energy because it represents a total reset. It's the leap into a brand new adventure, taken with full awareness and complete trust. Just like this little figure walking boldly on a rainbow, lighthearted, in a landscape filled with magic, he's not overthinking. He's simply following the pull of his heart. So you can see, a new chapter is waiting for you, one that's freer, one that's more joyful. It's a true gift from your soul. Because once this loss has been integrated, whether symbolic or literal, you're not going back to what was. You're stepping into something new, something deeply aligned. Now let's take a look at your emotional life during these 2 months. And you've drawn 2 cards from the same element, the Knight of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles. So clearly, we're in the earth element, which suggests grounding but also building. The Knight of Pentacles is the most methodical of all 4 knights. Yes, he moves slowly, but he moves wisely. Emotionally, this can suggest a relationship that is being built on solid ground, or an internal process in which you are learning to trust yourself, to stabilize your emotions, and to move forward one step at a time, without outside pressure. And the Ace of Pentacles, on the other hand, very clearly points to a new beginning in the material world, a concrete opportunity that is just waiting to be embraced. For some of you, this may very well be a new encounter, a promising friendship, or romantic connection. But for most, this will be a renewal in your relationship with yourself. And just look at the artwork. It's stunning. There's this path opening up toward the light. There's something almost sacred here, deeply spiritual. Now let's turn to your professional and financial life for these 2 months. And you've drawn 2 extremely telling cards, especially considering the rest of the reading, the Ten of Wands and the Magician. The Ten of Wands represents the end of a cycle, because it's a 10. But it's a heavy ending, a burdensome one. You can see it clearly in the imagery. The character is literally crushed by the weight he's carrying. So what is this for you? Is it an overload of responsibility in your work life? A project that's become too demanding? Or perhaps a financial pressure that feels unbearable? Whatever it is, you'll know how to adapt it to your life. But one thing is clear. There's fatigue or stress here that's been building for too long. And it's a sign that things can't go on like this. And for many of you, this weight you've been carrying, this burden, echoes directly with the challenge we saw earlier, death and the 9 of Wands. We clearly see that it's time to stop doing everything on your own. Maybe even time to end an activity, let go of a project, or completely rethink your financial strategy. But now, look at what comes right after. You've drawn the Magician, which holds the number 1, and that changes everything. Because the Magician doesn't just signal a new cycle, he tells us that this new chapter will be when you initiate yourself, using your gifts, your talents, and your inner resources. This is a deeply creative card. There is no more enduring here. With the Magician, you step fully into your power as the creator of your life. So, whether you're about to launch something new or simply shift into a more aligned way of working, this is a project that will be fully yours. And you already have everything you need to bring it to life. So if you've been doubting yourself, the Magician is here to reassure you. Yes, you absolutely can. Even if things still feel heavy today, your guides are telling you. This is the end of an outdated way of doing things and the beginning of a brand new path. One that is much more aligned with who you've become. And by the way, I'll include a link in the video description to an audiobook I love. It shares what many consider the most powerful manifestation tool ever created. I've personally used it for years, with incredible success. And now, take a look at what awaits you at the end of August. 2 incredibly bright and hopeful cards, the 10 of Cups and another ace, this time the Ace of Wands. The 10 of Cups is one of the most beautiful cards in the entire tarot. It represents emotional harmony, peace restored, whether in your relationships or simply within yourself. It tells you that happiness is absolutely possible, even after hard times. There's a sense of emotional fulfillment here because we're at number 10, as if the universe is rewarding you for the journey you've walked. And as if that weren't enough, you also have the Ace of Wands, this surge of fresh life force, a spark, an inner fire being reignited. So you're no longer in a place of grief or hesitation. You're entering a true rebirth. And remember, aces always come with a little nudge from the universe. So this will unfold naturally. I'm honestly so happy for you because these two cards show a luminous evolution, a readiness to step into a new chapter of your life with a heart that's at peace and a spirit reignited. And doesn't it perfectly echo your soul's deepest desire we saw at the start? That radiant Queen of Wands and that enchanted Seven of Pentacles child, full of wonder at life. Now, before we end with the oracle message, here's the precious guidance from your spiritual team to help you move through these 2 months in the happiest way possible. You've drawn the Knight of Wands. This knight is all about passion, but also boldness. He's ready to leap forward, so his message is clear. Go where your heart pulls you. Even if things aren't perfectly clear yet, this is not the time to doubt. It's time to follow that little flame within, the one that's starting to glow again. That fire will lead you forward into the powerful renewal we've seen throughout this entire reading. Let's close with a message from the Little Oracle of Intuition, part of the Liberation series, and it's called Wheel. Every negative emotion dissolves in the light of your positive thoughts. Use the power of your mind, and your reality will shift like magic. How fascinating. This is the second time the wheel appears in your reading. A clear sign that a powerful turning point is here, and that this wheel is turning in your favor. And notice all the repeating numbers too. 10 of Cups, 10 of Wands, and the Wheel of Fortune, each marking the end of a cycle. The Ones, the Aces, Pentacles, and Wands, and of course, the Magician. So even if you experience moments of discouragement over the next 2 months, come back to this reading. It holds real keys to help you stay the course, to stay centered, and to fully welcome the joy of the 10 of Cups that's waiting for you. And don't forget the little gifts from the universe we've seen. The Ace of Pentacles in your emotional life, the Ace of Wands at the end of the month, and of course, the Wheel of Fortune, guiding your transformation. And above all, remember the blessings of the Empress and the Fool. Those two beautiful cards are leading you into true rebirth. So, my dear Scorpios, these are 2 incredibly powerful months ahead of you. And don't hesitate to check your rising sign and moon sign as well for a more personal perspective. And take a look at the link to the audiobook in the description. It truly has the potential to change your life. Sending you all my love. Take good care of yourself. And I'll see you on August 28th for your next guidance.